The white flag is up for A.J. Foyt, and he has been out in front, running easy by himself for 119 consecutive laps. So he has really dominated this race since Richard Petty blew his engine and went to the garage.
The clocks say that he's going to win at better than 160 miles an hour, Keith. He'll be the first over 160 mile an hour winner at 161.5 miles an hour going in. The old record set by Leroy Yarborough, 157.95 in 1969.
So this massive crowd, and they've estimated it at 98,000 plus, coming up with the cheers for the tough Texan from Houston, A.J. Foyt. He told us before the race he wanted to run it hard, lead all the way if he could, and he hasn't led all the way, but most of the way, and he wins the Daytona 500, and that's an appropriate sign.
Buddy Lazier right there had to go to the back of the pack, currently being shown right now in the 32nd position in Billy Ballou's truck.
And those are our open wheelers, Jacques Villeneuve and Buddy Lazier, jumping into the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
But he's the sixth different driver to drive this truck this year, Billy Ballou's truck. They won with Shane Neal back a few years ago with this very truck.
We talk about the woes of Mike Skinner. Well, Ron Hornaday, who started 15th, has already made his way up into the top 10. And so that points battle between Ron Hornaday and Mike Skinner looks as though that gap might get a little bit larger tonight.
But it was there, looks to the inside of Brett Thompson in the 61. Good side-by-side racing. Good experience for Buddy Lazier here in the Truck Series.
This is Connor Daly driving for Roush Fenway Racing this weekend in the number 6. Something he dearly wanted to try, Dale, and with his experience in open wheel on road courses, certainly a proper place to do it.
Yeah, we'll see how that translates into driving a stock car. I'm sure he's been told by many that they don't stop very well. The tires aren't very wide, so they corner a lot differently. But you know, that's great to be able to, kind of expand his driving career some. And I know that he would rather it be dry out here and go get that opportunity to really see what these cars are about.
The guy in third place, Jimmy Vasser, in the 30 car. This is his first Busch Series start. He come from the kart series.
Smart guy, really smart guy. He knows, hey, I'm in a great spot. I'm going to follow these guys, and I'm going to learn.
A brand new team, a two-car team for Vasser and Chad Blunt.
And right now, this is a one-race deal for Jimmy Vasser. Stephen Marlin, Sterling Marlin's son, is supposed to run this race. This race car's about 15 races. But we talked to his crew chief this morning, Joe Dan Bailey, and he said, I wish we could get some more races for Jimmy Vasser. He worked so hard at making that car drive good and understand his race car. Steve Burns.
And Larry, he went on to say that on the racetrack in practice, Vasser would run the high side, the low side, in front of cars, behind cars, all in an effort to find where that car was best and where he could be most comfortable.
He's got a good crew chief there, Larry. I think, have you ever worked with Joe Dan?
I never did, but he came from Richard Childress Racing, worked there for many years on the 3-car that Dale Earnhardt drove.
White flag is out, just 1 mile remaining here on this new configuration for Sam Hornish Jr. to pick up his first win in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Roger Penske on the left, looking on. Through the dogleg for the final time and into 3.
Oh, it's just been so solid. They took those 2 tires, and on the restart, he was able to jump out there, get the lead, and wasn't going to be denied at this victory.
Here he comes out of turn number 4, his first Nationwide Series win.
Paul Tracy in this group, the Canadian, who won the 2003 Champ Car race here, and also won the Car Championship that season. He is among the qualifiers in this group. Tracy in car number 4. There he is.
Now this is the car that's normally driven by Mark Green. Mark will be back in the car next week at Las Vegas. And I talked to crew chief John Wolf this morning. He told me that Mark would be in the car the rest of the year, but they decided to bring Paul Tracy down here for this one road course race.
While you guys are watching that great battle up front, I've been watching Al Unser Jr. At lap 24, he is 20th place. He started 40th. He's passed 20 cars so far, and he's on his way.
What a run he's having. And remember, that's a backup car. The car in the 125 was torn up.
Yeah, but the key to that backup car is that's Ken Schrader's Busch Clash car. When Al lost that car in the 125, Rick Hendrick said, hey, look, we're going to give you a good one. They gave him Schrader's Busch car that he ran second, so this car has got a lot of potential.
Davey Allison looking back at Unser. Unser came in here with an orange and black car, and it became a white car as part of that Schrader team.
Morgan Shepherd, Johnny Sauter making up row 16, and then provisionals filling out the field. Buddy Rice out of the IRL joining the Craftsman Truck Series for this final race.
There's the Rahal car, the Wood Brothers, number 21. You won't see a 21 next year on the Wood Brothers for the first time in 3 decades. It'll be the sponsor's number 7 on that car for Kyle Petty. And for me, that's kind of a heartbreaker. I always love the old maroon, white, and gold of those proud people from Virginia, and that number 21 was synonymous with so many giants. The days of Marvin Panch, A.J. Foyt, David Pearson, so many great drivers for them. The 21 number goes away. It becomes number 7 next year on that car being driven by Ray Hall today, Kyle Petty at Daytona in the next event, February 1985. Here they are up to that very critical turn number 6. Turn that cost Joe Weatherly his life. Then it's that short straightaway into turn number 8, and no matter how you do it in these 3,700-pound cars, turn 8, you do wrong. There's just almost no way to get through it.
The leader, James Davison, now legging it out over second place, Justin Marks. How smooth he is, Dale, and that's the advantage when you've got a good race car and lots of talent.
Yeah, and I think racing up front at Mid-Ohio a few weeks ago really gave him an understanding of what he needs and how he could be better in a stock car racing at these. And you had to figure that he was going to come here and be a better driver than he was just a few weeks ago, and that showed the case right now.
Through the final turn of 14 at Road America, up the hill to the start-finish line, Stage 1 winner, James Davison.
Guys, Montoya trying to save all the fuel he can. You can feel the nerves down here in the 42 pit. This is a young man who grew up not having enough money for public transportation, he recalls. He used to take his rollerblades everywhere he would go. He got a shot in 1997 at the Formula 3000 season, and that was the break he was looking for. Finished second in that championship in his rookie year, and the F1 teams took notice. The Williams team picked him up, put him in their F3000 ride, won the championship, beat out Nick Heidfeld. Of course, the story's going to F1, and now here in Nextel Cup, on the verge of winning his first ever race. His wife Connie looks on. Can the fuel hold out for Montoya?
Less than a lap ago, white flag in the air at Sonoma.
Just keep up as much speed you can through here.
He's got about 4 seconds on Harvick right now, so if he can just drive it smooth and keep the thing running, he's got a good shot. He's done a great job today. I mean, he really has run aggressively, but he raced everybody pretty much clean. He's got a half a lap to go.
All good. It's clear by like 30 or 40. All clear. Lots of room.
There's Harvick in second. Montoya told Matt Yoakum earlier this week in the piece we ran earlier today that he didn't think his childhood dream of becoming a professional racer would ever come true. Because you don't get many professional racers coming out of this country of Columbia. Final turn into 11, then the short jog for turn 12. Juan Pablo Montoya coming to the checkered flag. The fuel lives, and Montoya wins at Sonoma.
Max Papis, is he coming on to pit road this time? Here he is at pit entry, and yes.
On pit road.
So Papis will give up the top spot to pit here as he completes the 48th lap of the race. Jason Leffler also in. That leaves J.R. Fitzpatrick and Trevor Bayne to pit before the lead would cycle back around to Carl Edwards. And you see the rest of the cars who have not yet stopped. Fitzpatrick and Bayne also in. So Carl Edwards should come by for the lead while we watch these stops, Mike.
And Max Papis on pit road. He's very happy with his race car. Came into the day extremely confident, feeling like he really had a shot at winning this race. The car's been fairly good, although he's been involved in a little bit of an altercation on the racetrack earlier. They pull the fender away, complete their 4-tire stop with fuel. Shannon?
Field out of turn 4, green flag in the air.
Carpentier slides up the racetrack, and this is what I think we talked about in the countdown to green. You got to be careful because all these guys are bumper to bumper right now. So if they start lining up on the bottom, Patrick is fighting hard on the outside.
And Patrick got a great start. I mean, he just drove away. That's a rookie start. You saw how he didn't wait until they threw the green flag. He just took off, which was good, but that was
very good, bud. Good job. Y'all be getting a little heat in him now. Check the bottom, gets in.
And he really wanted those 5 bonus points, too.
Yeah, and he did. He hung tough on the outside. He could have just as easily let the 29, but the 29 got a great run. And here's Bobby on the inside. Bobby's hung tough there. He fell in the 3rd place in the 43 car, and he's hung tough right there.
5th fastest is Joe Bessie in the Taylor Toggs Dodge, and Roger Mears, the off-road champ. He is in the Budweiser Chevrolet.
Scott Pruitt, one of the 5 ringers in the race, the road course regulars. Do you know that as far as the ringers are concerned, the last time a non-Winston Cup regular won a NASCAR Winston Cup road course race was 1973 when Mark Donohue did it at Riverside, California.
And Greg Biffle missed the inner loop that time, had to stop back there and give up the 8th position.
He's going to give it up when he comes to pit road for his stop-and-go penalty. The inner loop was made back in the early 1990s.
And here is Michel Jourdain in a Ford. This is a PPC racing entry. He did race in the Busch Series for them last year on pretty much a full-time schedule. This is a one-off ride this season.
And of our 5 cars that are out on the racetrack right now, all of the cars are locked into the show with the exception of Michel Jourdain Jr. in the 15 car. Has to qualify on time.
He should be able to get that car in the show. He's good here, and he knows the racetrack. It's a pretty good hot rod.
Roche Franz is a motor oil company in Mexico.
I think he just needs a clean lap, no mistakes.
And here he comes for the green flag, and I understand this is a former Morgan McClure car. Goes down the corner. Underneath that white line next to the grass, folks, is they call it a rumble strip. That's to keep those Indy cars off the grass, but you can see these stock cars are just wading right through that rumble strip like it isn't even there, is what I'm trying to say. Didn't seem to upset him. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, I heard Dale Jarrett say last night that the rumble strips may affect the Indy cars, but the stock cars drive right over them.
They've all said this is one of the smoothest surfaces that they have raced on.
Off of corner number 4, here comes Danny Sullivan, originally from Louisville, Kentucky, now making his home in Aspen, Colorado. 44 years of age, the checkered flag waves, and he has qualified for the Brickyard 400.
I believe he's going to come in there in about 2nd place. We'll get the official ruling in a moment.
Derek Cope is fastest at 168.634. We're waiting to see what effort Danny Sullivan turned in. And you're right, Ned, it is the 2nd fastest of the day, 167.358. That's 53.777 seconds.
Good look now at Catherine Legge in the 15 car for Johnny Davis Motorsports. Talked with this group at Bristol, Paul Clapperud, the crew chief, and the rest of them about their experience with her at Mid-Ohio. And they said not only was she great behind the wheel, she had us laughing, and we had a great time at Mid-Ohio. Couldn't wait to get to Road America.
She did an outstanding job for the majority of the race. Got into a few little things later in the race, but she really was outstanding, and you can tell just how talented she is.
And the motor failure, by the way, was not a misshift on her part. They confirmed that for me. There was something else going on with the motor there, so she was clean all the way through. And in fact, the car was quite a bit out of control in practice the day before, and Paul said, I couldn't sleep all night. I was thinking, what have I done to that race car, or could I do to help her get through it better? And I believe it was a lowering of the chain on the rear end, DJ, that he said to me, gave that car, and you tell me, more travel when she got into the braking zone so it didn't wheel hop as much?
Yeah.
And it solved the problem. It was like a light switch went on, and he said, you're going to like this in qualifying. And she said, yes, I did.
Yeah, she went out there, and I think it was like 21st or something like that in her qualifying effort. So did a really nice job. And again, was impressive in the race. I mean, figured out ways just like that right there. You know, I know we're in practice here, but figuring out the way, how do I pass? Where do I pass with these stock cars and understand the braking points? And you can see here that she's carrying a lot of speed.
How about in the 40 car?
He won an Indy 500. He won an IndyCar title in 2007. And he said, the next step in my career is I want to go NASCAR racing. Dario Franchitti, folks, in only his 16th career start, is here in NASCAR as the pole sitter. He will lead him down. A 35-year-old Scotsman hoping to get his first ever NASCAR win on the road course at Watkins Glen. Green flag, and the hustle begins in turn one. Here they go. Gordon on the attack on the outside.
Dario Franchitti got a good start there, and he actually beat these guys by about 3.5 tenths in qualifying. So I think if he can get out front and make some time here, we'll see him lead this race for a little bit. Very aggressive on that start. He pulled him a couple of car lengths getting down into turn one.
Right behind our leader, and there is Al Unser Sr., who's right behind Tim Richmond. It's Richmond in 6th and Al Sr. in 7th position.
Rusty's car looked like it might have been a little bit of the fuel overflow in that left-hand corner that was flowing out of the right rear corner, which was probably causing that.
Al Unser Sr. negotiating this racetrack here at Watkins Glen behind Tim Richmond. We understand that Tim Richmond's car has a miss. The engine is misfiring. Our spotters around the course have informed us of that, so we'll keep an eye on Tim Richmond's car. He has fallen back here at the beginning of the race. 2 laps completed. It's still Rusty Wallace trailing.
Comes Jacques Villeneuve, and it looks like he is going to take lead. And listen to the crowd down in turn 1 here. Very clear who is the hometown favorite, isn't it? It is so great coming up here because they love their French-Canadian drivers from Quebec. He has shot sail. He has watched Jacques Villeneuve. One thing that separates him from the other road races, and the reason he is so talented, particularly on these slow, aggressive, technical courses, he uses the curbing. He'll get up on the rumble strips and the curbing to help turn the car. That's very difficult to do.
Got a battle for the lead here. Looks like the 5 car, Adrian Fernandez, will take the lead.
Oh, Truex crossover move. But now he's out of position for turn 3. Fernandez is going to exit turn 3 with the lead. And when the crowd sees it on the screen, they are going to erupt.
They want him to come back around and lead this lap.
Only 2 leaders so far today, Jorge Getters and Martin Truex Jr. Truex to the inside.
Boy, Martin is just really aggressive.
You know what's neat, though? This is the 2 teams that battled for the championship last year. The 5 car of Hendrick, Martin Truex Jr., the 8 car owned by Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Teresa Earnhardt. Just remember what I was about to say before we almost had the battle for lead. Those top 4 cars you see right there, they will have to be on pit road in about 12 laps to make this work. And in my book, they've made their bed. They're going to have to lay in it now.
Out of turn 6, here they come down the oval straight into turn 7, and when Fernandez emerges from turn 8 with the lead, these 100,000 Mexican fans will go bananas.
You got a good run off turn 8. Just look at the crowd. From last to first in 33 laps.
Talked to Drew Brown, his PR guy. He said Adrian Fernandez in this city he said he blows Dale Jr., Jeff Gordon, Tony Stewart, all those guys away.
On lap 198, Richard Petty lost his engine. The resulting oil on the track took out Jerry Grant and Jim Hurtubise. With just 1 lap to go, Andretti takes the white flag at the same time the caution flag comes out.
Mario Andretti ready to take the checkered flag, and there it is. He made it.
Hello, everybody. I am proud to announce that I have established an official store on Teespring. There, you can find a wide variety of official merchandise related to the Ryan Holman Network, all of which was personally designed by me, Ryan Holman. To find the official Ryan Holman store, please go to teespring.com/stores/the-official-Ryan-Holman-store. Thank you.